the Wisconsin Badgers, everyone's favorite team, Wisconsin. Man, they're coming off a season where they finished 4-3, but on the bright side, they beat the rival Minnesota last game. They also was able to come away with a victory versus Wake Forest in the Mail Bowl. They have Paul Chryst, who's a tremendous coach. I think that he's really underrated and a great quarterback that's going to that I expect to make a leap year in Graham Mertz. They start off with Penn State. This is a statement game for both teams because Penn State, they did not have a great season last year. They do have Jahan Dotson, Wisconsin. They did not have a great season last year. They have Graham Mertz. These two guys are going to be they're going to have impact on this game, both of these guys. But both teams need this victory to set the tone for the season because if you look at this schedule for Wisconsin, they have some tough opponents, which we'll get into in a little bit. After this game, they come home, or they stay home, and play Eastern Michigan. This is a game that Wisconsin, they show up, the talent level is just not the same. On both lines of scrimmage, Wisconsin has better players at each position, but that doesn't matter because we've seen last year teams that were in smaller conferences come to Power Fives homes and upset them. Wisconsin does not want to be a part of that conversation and be in that mix. They must respect Eastern Michigan. I think that they will. Paul Chryst is going to have those guys ready to play, but taking each team serious is important because they face Notre Dame after this. Notre Dame is going to be ready to play this game. Notre Dame is a tremendous team in the regular season. We know in the postseason with bowl games and college football playoffs, they don't have the best seasons, but in the regular season, we do not question the greatness of Notre Dame. Brian Kelly will have those guys ready to play. Paul Chryst needs to have his guys ready to play. I think that this will be a great game because both teams will be amped up. It's a neutral site game. If Wisconsin is possibly 2-0, you could definitely see game day being there or big noon kickoff. Everyone's going to want to see this game. So Wisconsin must be ready to play. Mertz is going to be the key in this game if he can play well. They have a high chance of winning this game. If he doesn't, it's going to be probably a rout for Notre Dame. Next, after that, they come home and play that team up north and John Harbaugh. There's a lot of speculation and rumors going around about the defense that team up north and Harbaugh has. It's rumored to be good. Obviously, Harbaugh is great at recruiting. Can he develop those guys? He got an extension, so I think he is more motivated. The team is going to be motivated. It's not hovering over recruits, but they also remember that last time they came to Wisconsin's house, they got destroyed. Wisconsin, I don't know if they're going to destroy that team up north, but they're going to be ready to play. They seem to have Harbaugh's number, I think. But if I know Harbaugh like I do watching him, he's not going to let his guys get ran out the building. They're going to come and play tough, whether it's a night game. I think it will be a night game. It doesn't matter whether it's a day game or a night game. They're going to be ready to play this game after that. But Illinois, Wisconsin, the last time they went to Illinois, they lost this. They were also undefeated, had a huge game coming up against Ohio State. They ended up losing this game. Wisconsin has to remember to take every opponent serious and not overlook anybody. And that's going to be the same for home games because they face Army. Army is unconventional. It's going to be an offense that Wisconsin is not really used to, playing against. But I think Mertz, if that offense can score points on Army, put pressure on them, I think this is going to be definitely be a victory for Wisconsin if they can just offensively just run the score up as high, score as many points as they can because Army's, they can control the clock, so each possession must be taken seriously. Mertz must take care of the ball. If he scores touchdowns, they can definitely get victory. But after that, they go to Purdue. Purdue's a team that not many people have high expectations for in the Big Ten, and then if Wisconsin can take these guys serious, they can definitely come away with a victory. But Purdue have beaten teams that have been better than them before. We've seen them defeat Ohio State when they were, in the college football playoff conversation. Wisconsin's going to be obviously in the mix for a Big Ten West championship. They want to get to that. They want to get to Indianapolis, and they're going to have to go to Purdue and take them serious, especially if this is a night game, because Purdue, they play really well at night no matter the record. And then after that, they get Iowa at home, and we know what Iowa represents: consistency and excellence each and every year. They're gonna play great, and they're not going to beat themselves. Wisconsin's going to have to bring their A game to get a victory here. If they can do that, they will be in great position of getting back to Indianapolis. But that could be a problem if they don't take Rutgers serious. Rutgers is a team that plays hard under Greg Schiano. They are not five-star players. They're 3, 4. Doesn't matter what their stars are, even no stars. They're going to play hard. They don't care who they're playing. They don't care if you're a top 10 team, a top 20 team. They don't care if you want to go to the Big Ten championship. Wisconsin must be ready to play this game, because if not, they're going to be in a hole that's going to be tough to get out of, because they face Northwestern, the reigning Big Ten West champs. That team that went to Indianapolis, they played Ohio State really, really tough. That's who they're facing. In Northwestern and Pat Fitzgerald, they're going to play hard. They're not going to beat themselves either. They're going to show excellence, especially on defense. They had a really great defense last year, and I think their defense can get better. Now, Northwestern, they had 2 first-round picks, which is something you never see from Northwestern, but they're going to be ready to play this game. They're going to be excited to play Wisconsin, because they want to get back to a Big Ten championship game and face whoever it is out of the East, whether it's Penn State, Ohio State, or whoever is out of the East. They want to get back to that championship game. Wisconsin is in their way. Wisconsin, you need to make sure you show them that, hey, we're trying to get there too. Mertz is going to have to step up. Now, Pat Fitzgerald, he's a great, great coach, and he's going to find ways to make sure his team is ready to get this victory. But if Wisconsin and Paul Chryst take this game with the same consistency, not beat themselves, and not turn up, and Mertz does not turn the ball over, and they're at home, this is a game that Wisconsin will definitely have a chance of winning this game. And then after that, they get to face Nebraska. Many people don't have many expectations for Nebraska this year. Scott Frost, I don't know what he's doing. They have not shown that they can compete in the Big Ten yet. They play some games hard, but Scott Frost is going to be wanting to win this game. He might be on the hot seat. This is a game that could possibly save his job. So Wisconsin must be ready to play, because then after that, they go to Minnesota, the rival. They beat them last year. So, Minnesota is going to be pretty angry. In Minnesota, they didn't have the best of the year last year. But they will be ready to play Wisconsin. The biggest key for Wisconsin is their quarterback, Graham Mertz. He's the key, because everything is lined up for Wisconsin to succeed. They have a lot of the tougher matchups at home. They play Northwestern at home. They get Iowa at home. They get Harbaugh at home. They get Penn State at home. And they get Notre Dame on a neutral site. So everything is lined up for Wisconsin to have a successful season. It comes down to quarterback play and coaching. If they can have success at both of those, they will be really great. But if not, we could be looking at another 7-6, 6-6 season, which I know those Wisconsin fans do not want. Remember, Mertz is the key. Mertz is the key. Graham Mertz is the key.